mostly here, mostly 10 to 20 years. So not classical young professional, but bear with me. Hopefully, young professional at heart are here. We'll go with that one. So the intention of this webinar, which the more I think about it, and that's why Krish was asking me when I was cleaning my eyes a little bit, and I'm a little emotional as I was looking into what I'm going to share with you. There's a series of talks by MIT professors. They started it some time ago. It's called The Last Lecture. So they asked the professors once in their career to come and give a lecture, was as if it was, what will they say if to the audience if it was their last lecture? So it's not, it could be my last lecture, but it's not my last lecture intentionally right now. But the thought process is going in that way. So anyway, I'm going to share this talk and let me know if the clicks are going to work, and I'll move over to this one. So primarily, the theme is personal brand or personal branding. Initially, I'll break it into three parts. We are at 8:40 my time right now, more or less. So 40 minutes I'll spend, hopefully, on part one, which is taking you through my journey of whatever Shahid's brand is today, how it has evolved over time. That will be my part one. Yeah, so we'll see. And you may be able to resonate with a few of those key milestones that have happened in this journey. Part two is where I'll spend another 25 to 30 minutes in taking today's time. And if I were to start my career again, and or my son is about to start his career, what is my advice from my lessons learned to him in today's world? So that will be my part two. And then part three will be Q&A. I'll leave it up to you. Ask whatever. Hopefully you'll have about 15 minutes or so on that one. In the best case scenario, that's my goal. Please keep on using the chat for all the questions that come into your mind or any thought process you have, any comments. Feel free to put it there without breaking the chain of your thought. Okay, so that's the intention over here. There will be some breaks whenever I need to take a sip of water or have a sip of my tea. So that will be allowing you to settle in and allow me to calm down also, because you will see my color changing with time and my voice going up and my frequency increasing as well. So in this journey, so now let's see if I am clicking here, and hopefully, here we go. So thinking aloud is, after putting all the thoughts together, is where I put my first step. Okay, one takeaway. What is the key ingredient that Shahid is telling Shahid that has to happen for personal brand to exist? That enabler for me, and I have to go back. The question is, what matters most for that personal brand to evolve? That key question, and that's why I'm glad the video is on for some. Ruby, what do you see? The name is Gamma Ray. I hope that you can see the thing. So I'm a dog guy, not a cat person, but somehow this cat, I've learned a lot from this cat, and the name of the cat is Gamma Ray. So Ruby, any idea what the Gamma Ray is looking at? What this cat is looking at? Unmute and say whatever comes to your mind. What do you think the cat is looking at? So to help you in this deep blue sea that it is looking at, it's looking at something. So what is the cat looking at? It could be the evil queen mother, the stepmother of Snow White. The mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Right?
It's looking for a mouse.
It could be looking for a mouse. But the looking, what the Gamma Ray sees in the mirror is what? And that is what matters most. What matters most is how you see yourself in the mirror. Forget about what people tell you you can be. I was growing up and my parents were telling me, our son is going to become a doctor, our son will become this, this, this. I don't care what the others is. It all comes down to what I see in the mirror. The man in the mirror or the woman in the mirror is what that matters. If you cannot see yourself in the mirror with a smile, then forget about brand. Brand doesn't exist. So this is the most important element of branding, what you see in the mirror, which will evolve, which will change over time. So keep that in mind. Now, Words of wisdom, people who know me, I follow words of wisdom. They come out of me, they go into me, and I live in and breathe them. Henry Ford said, if you think you can, you can. If you think you cannot, you cannot. It again comes down here. So if anyone tells you it is impossible, a little bit of space and a comma will make it I am possible. That's all it is. So on that note, now I'll take you through onto who Shahid thinks he is and or what is Shahid's mindset. How do I think? Every person will think, could think in a slightly different way. I realized way back that I am an engineer. I'm a technical person. I'm an engineer. I'm not a manager kind. So if you want me to become a manager, things will fall apart. If you want me to become a leader, hopefully I can instill some emotions, positive emotions outside. Now, as an engineer mindset, and that is why I'm bringing this, is everything I will share with you about my own journey is through the lens of Shahid Haq. I'm looking at my own data. Everyone can look at statistics in any way you want. So my mindset is working on cause and effect. As an engineer, when I look back, I'm looking at effects, trying to figure out the causes. If I'm looking in future, I am trying to instill some causes and thinking about what could be their effects. And my mindset is probabilistic. I start everything on a P10, P50, P90 mindset. But there comes an 80-20 rule for me, which is go, no go. At what point my analysis paralysis is too much? I need to move forward. So is it going to happen? Is I going to do something or not? Is where my 80-20 rule will come on probabilistic and I will become deterministic to move forward. But initially, to make things happen and think, I am a probabilistic person to begin with assumptions in mind. Understanding assumptions is key important. I'm very much a 5-dimensional guy, probably now more of a 6 or 7 dimension as you move up into the 6th floor of your life. Things start changing also. 6th dimension comes with the 6th floor. So when I was in my 5th dimension, 5th floor, the 5th dimension was space is there. Everything that I see, I try to move from one space to the other. And the importance of heterogeneity and homogeneity and anisotropy comes into play. Similarly, when I move into time, any time which is behind me is one dimension and any time which is in front of me is another one. Because is in space, plus x is a mirror of minus x, plus y is a mirror of minus y, plus z or z is a mirror of minus z or z. But plus t is not a mirror of minus t, they are two separate dimensions. But in order to move forward, I have to do the history matching first. So that's how I am thinking of things, which means the history matching and forecasting using the probabilistic approach comes to my mind. And with this, I'm looking for trends. I'm looking for patterns. And that is where the data analytics is helping me these days, because I'm looking for proxies. If A is affecting B, B is affecting C, C is affecting D. In my classical evolution, I was going in stages. But in today's world where Saleh is living, he is not going to wait for A to become B, B to become C, C to become D. He will look at D trying to figure out A. So the mindset is very different now. I grew up, and that is what I follow inside out, is pre-job, on-job, post-job. Plan, execute, evaluate. And my post-job is always the pre-job for the next job, and that is how the continuation takes place. And that's the beauty of being a domain and in a service company, because it continuously allows us to look back and move forward at same point in time. As an engineer, with all these mindsets, uncertainty is something that if I cannot understand uncertainty, I'm lost. I'm gone. I'm not a magician who has a magic globe over there to talk about things, which means I have to understand and hopefully manage my uncertainties and also plan for the unexpected. There are times when the uncertainties, the known unknown is there. And sometimes there's an unknown unknown in that way. So my lesson learned over here, what Benjamin Franklin is saying, I said over there, failure to plan is planning to fail. So pre-job is the most important part of the job. 5 W's, H, S, and then SW. What, where, when, why, who, how, so what. And in these 5 W's, the 4 W's come before the 5th one, which is the why, which is the most important one. But what, when, who, and where defines the environment. That tells me what has happened. And then I move forward and I ask the curiosity-based question on why. And this is pre-job part. That's a quick learning on my mindset. No?